Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. Enjoy the video. Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. I am once again joined by, actually, I think that this one's going to go on first, and the first one we did is going to go on later, so don't get confused by that. But I am going to be joined by today, first time to the channel, Mark Stevenson. Man, why don't you say hello to everyone? First, before you say that, please make sure everyone make sure to go down to the description section below, hit that link and go subscribe to this man. The guy makes some really awesome content, much smaller Dragon Ball YouTuber who puts a lot of heart and soul into his content and channel. You should definitely go subscribe to him. So man, why don't you say hello to everyone before we get into all this?
Yeah, hey guys, it's Mark here. Absolute pleasure to be here. What a great intro that was, and I hope you do check it out. Hope you enjoy this big topic we've got for you today. Let them know what it is, real.
Yeah, you know. The thing is, like, I got this particular topic from your channel, and when I first saw it, man, I was just like, man, I want that topic. I want to talk with you about that topic because I personally feel the same way. I know a lot of people in my channel know that I feel the same way, especially for this current arc. But I think you have a lot more to bring to the table when it comes to not just the Tournament of Power, but all of Dragon Ball Super in general. I personally want to know, why do you think Dragon Ball Super is better than Dragon Ball Z? Your first big point.
Well, I've got 5 major points I'm going to go over here. Before people think I'm a fanboy, I'm a bigger fan of the original Dragon Ball than I am of Super. Super I put second place for a few reasons. The first of which, it uses the full cast a lot better than Dragon Ball Z ever did. It really does. They've had opponents for the lower warriors. Z became the Saiyan show right after, well, the Saiyans arrived. If you weren't Saiyan, you weren't staying. Yeah, I've got to say that they've brought in henchmen. Like when Frieza came, the full cast had a real chance to shine. The Tournament of Power, everybody's been involved. We had some great Krillin episodes, some not so great TN episodes, but they've all had their moments to shine. I think they've just used the cast better. What do you think about that?
I personally agree with you. I don't understand why people don't see it this way. I mean, one of the things that we saw so frequently in Dragon Ball Super is most people getting swept under the rug, being treated as if they were nothing. I mean, especially after the saga, like the Namek saga or the Frieza fight, where the only major player who didn't have any major role in any upcoming arcs was Krillin, who had any role. And yeah, it seems like such a far cry, especially at the very end of Dragon Ball Z, from what Dragon Ball really originally was Goku kind of going around with his friends. And while Super might just be Goku saving the day, at least they're focusing on Vegeta. At least now, especially in the Tournament of Power, they're giving relevance to Krillin and the androids, one of which, with 17, we haven't seen for months, years even. We haven't seen him since the Cell game, or this right before the Cell games, for a really long time. So I completely agree with you. I mean, even the whole PTSD of Krillin right before the Frieza fight in the Fukatsu no F arc was hailed from a lot of fans as being one of the better things that they added from the movie adaptation. So I completely agree with that particular point. But what about any other points that you want to throw at anyone else?
Yeah, my second point is the opening and closing sequences. I think on Super they've been brilliant. I mean, they've caused so much debate. They've given us flashbacks. People have talked about clues it's giving us to the future. The music's been fantastic. I've got to say the sequences have got me talking a lot more than the sequences ever did in Dragon Ball Z. They're classic sequences as well, but I think they're classic because of nostalgia, not for being great.
You know what's weird about that is I really feel like, and I'd have to, if there was one I was going to disagree with you a little bit on, be this one, probably because the sequences, opening and closing sequences that we got from Dragon Ball Z were already kind of locked in time. We already knew where they were coming, even though we weren't really speculative at this level back when we were younger, when we were watching Dragon Ball Z play out. We already knew what the story was. You can go online and figure out everything that was going to happen and all that other stuff. But I agree with you, like some of the sequences, especially the end sequences of Dragon Ball Super, just kind of touch my heartstrings more so than Dragon Ball did. Dragon Ball had okay closing sequences, but nothing too out of the ordinary, kind of more comical than most things. But these ones really kind of show us what's going on behind the scenes. You have Obviously, the ending 9, which a lot of people would point to as probably one of the better ones, was seeing everyone in the Tournament of Power. But also, I believe it was the 10th one where they were going through the manga panels and everyone kind of messing with each other. Obviously, the very first one where we see Goku literally walking as a kid through an an older man through the entire Dragon Ball journey with the vast landscapes of Dragon Ball running behind him, whether it's his home in Dragon Ball or Namek or King Kai's planet or anything else like that. It would be really freaking awesome. So yeah, I completely understand, man.
Yeah. So my next point I want to talk about is the slice of life stuff. I think the slice of life stuff in Super has been some of the best slice of life stuff we've got. I mean, I've really enjoyed all of it. It's given us some heartwarming moments. It's given us a lot of great written comedy. I think the comedy has been on another level in Super compared to Z. I'd like to know your opinions on that.
Before we get there, I want to know, like, what do you think is like the best slice of life moment that we've gotten from Dragon Ball Super at this point? Like, just in your opinion.
Yeah, there's so many to pick from. I mean, I love the stuff in Battle of Gods, but that was a retake. The stuff just in Super, the real turning up was great. I mean, that's got to be one of the big iconic moments. We've got Future Trunks meeting Android 18. I love that. I love the whole bonding between Vegeta and Future Trunks too. But that was fantastic. Baby being born. I mean, what haven't we had happen anyway?
It's so true, man. Like, it's so true. Like, I personally, and I even remember making a video about the 18 and Trunks meeting situation. I wanted that to happen. I felt like it would be a shame if it didn't, and the very fact that they had that happen made me so happy in the long run. And then you also have, but I think if you're gonna choose a specific moment, I feel like you would have to say like the Trunks meeting Pan moment. I feel like that was my personal favorite, but I want to know everyone in the comments section below what their personal favorite is. But I completely agree with you, man. Like, slice of life moments are what really carried this series for the longest time, at least for me and my fandom. I love this current arc, but slice of life moments have been awesome.
Right. So we're at the final point, I think, and it's the use of flashbacks. I mean, Dragon Ball Z had the opportunity to flashback to Dragon Ball, but I think Super's capitalised on it a lot better. We've had some real emotional flashbacks. I love the flashback to Goku and Krillin. I've loved the use of old moves. They've really, really capitalised and bringing moves back to the forefront. I've loved Warriors being brought back to the forefront. I mean, the revival of Master Roshi's been epic. We've seen Krillin's training episodes were fantastic. Tien's been a big player in the tournament. Piccolo back training Gohan. These sort of moments that mean a lot to the fandom. They've just drew off the old and brought it back now. I don't know if you call it fan service, but it works for me. It really does.
Oh man, I completely agree with that. I feel like that is one of the stronger points of all of this, is that Goku has gotten so many different flashbacks. We've gotten flashbacks to, like, as you said, the very beginning of Dragon Ball Super. I can't remember where it fell, actually, because it's been a while, but the flashback to him and Krillin training under Master Roshi has been fantastic. And it doesn't even need to be flashbacks as much as it is callback moments, when the Tournament of Power has stuff like Master Roshi kind of reciting the same thing that he said to Goku and Krillin back when they were first training with him. Or we have really like kind of a line for line retelling of when Goku gave Frieza an energy back in Planet Namek. I know one of the arguments people are going to say in the comment section below is that these are moments that wouldn't have as much relevance if we didn't have everything beforehand. But one of the things I feel like Dragon Ball Super is doing so well is it's corralling those moments and making us see them, making us re-experience them in very subtle, not too heavy-handed ways that is better than Dragon Ball Super, because I feel like I've definitely argued this in the past. I do want flashback episodes. In fact, the first video that you and I did together was about flashback episodes, and I think that would be kind of cool. But Dragon Ball Super has really found a way to weave these into the story, weave these into the things that are happening with every single episode, without having to utilize going back and showing us every single time how we got there or how or why they're relevant. And I think that that's really beneficial for the fans, because we're able to see that stuff, but it doesn't distract from the main story. And considering the fact that during its first run, you know, before Dragon Ball Kai, Dragon Ball Z did that stuff where it took so much time to show so many flashbacks and everything that has happened. I really think that that's something that Dragon Ball Super is actually doing better. It's utilizing nostalgic moments quicker, easier, and way more effectively when it decides to do them than Dragon Ball Z ever did. And if that's something that's going to hang on anyone's top reasons why Dragon Ball Super is better than Dragon Ball Z, I think that's one of the best reasons.
Yeah, I definitely go along with that. Something's just popped into my head that may anger a lot of people, but the best animation in Super is better than the best animation in Z. Super started terribly animation-wise, obviously with the Frieza stuff, Battle of Gods stuff, but after that, it upped its level, and at its best moments, it's been beautiful. I mean, look at the Super Saiyan God we saw the other week, the Ultra Instinct, the Frieza Golden transformation after he'd come back to life, the Future Trunks stuff. I mean, some animation in Super has been amazing, and it still gets a lot of criticism. And I would say that Z consistently had been better than Super, but when Super is at its best, it's top Z for me.
Oh my, yes, absolutely. I mean, there is just absolutely no denying the fact that Dragon Ball Super has some phenomenal animation when it actually has the chance. In fact, even when they do those flashbacks to earlier episodes, I think one of the last episodes did that, where they went back to episode 100 when we got to see Kale kind of go her berserk mode the first time in the tournament. It looked a little wonky not because it was wonky, not because it was standing so far below like it was episode 5 level, but because it was so unbelievably different from the episode that we got. The episode that they showed that in was so crisp and so clean that when you jump back to that, you're like, oh man, it looks weird. But back in the day, even back when episode 100 first aired, it's like, oh, that looks great. Like, everything is fine here. Like, it's not a bad deal. It's just getting so much better with every single episode and with every single arc that it's just so exciting. So I completely agree with you there. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm sure you agree with me, I'm not going to sit here and say that Dragon Ball Super is better in the sense that, like, it's going to hang on our nostalgic drive or anything else like that. But in terms of a series that picks up that nostalgic feeling, nostalgic want or need, and runs with it, it is the best possible things that we could have possibly gotten, and I'm really enjoying every single moment of it right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, I don't want people thinking I don't like Dragon Ball Z. I mean, that would be completely wrong. It's what got me into the show. I love it. I've watched it all more times than I can count. It's what it is. It's perfect. I just want people to stop hating on Super. I mean, we all wanted Dragon Ball to come back, and the criticism it gets is insane to me. People wanted female Super Saiyans, they got them. People wanted the cast back, they got it back, and they still hate on it. I don't get it. What did you want?
They just want it to be perfect, and that's absolutely fine. Like, everyone's totally okay with their opinions and wanting something more from the series they absolutely love. But you know, I think just for us, and hopefully a lot of you guys listening here, I really think that what they've given us has been more than enough and more than good enough than what we really deserve or what we should have been getting at this point. And the mere fact that it's so popular and it's probably going to last for so much longer than what we might have originally anticipated is amazing. I think that that's absolutely amazing, and I attribute almost everything that you've given to us here, like all of your thoughts and opinions about why this series might just so happen to be better than Z, despite all of our nostalgic feelings and admirations for Dragon Ball Z, is true. And maybe that's why this series is just so unbelievably popular right now, because it's hitting on so many fundamental dynamics while keeping the story simplistic and easy to come into. You don't have to watch Dragon Ball. You don't have to watch Dragon Ball Z. You don't have to watch Dragon Ball GT or know anything about Dragon Ball to watch Dragon Ball Super. But if you do, it makes it a better experience if you're taking it in the right way. Personally, that's just my opinion. Obviously, everyone else has their own opinion on this. Don't jump on me for saying that, but I know a lot of people don't agree with that. But just me personally, I feel like knowing Dragon Ball Z, and even GT makes it a better experience.
To me, it does. I can't imagine coming in and not seeing any of the rest of it. It's a big. Anyone in the comment section, let us know if this is the only thing of Dragon Ball you've seen, and how it hooked you in. Because I always wonder myself if I'd have been hooked in by Super how I was by Z. I'd like to think so because I've loved it, but do I love it because I love Dragon Ball already? It's impossible to know.
I personally think I absolutely personally think because you and I. Just to be clear, like you and I are on the older side, you know. We're on the older side of the fandom. You know, I'm pushing 30. I yeah, like I'm not gonna reveal your age, but I'm pushing 30. We're both fairly adult. We came in very early. We came in very like Dragon Ball Z days, and before Dragon Ball was released to us in the English speaking world. And I think that we probably, if Dragon Ball Super was in front of us at the day, we would have liked it. Now, if Dragon Ball was in front of us right now, maybe not. But we're older now. We're a little bit more in tune and stuff. We're okay just to take the stuff that we like and express them in one way or the other. Dragon Ball Super isn't perfect, but it's perfect for us right now, and that's the way I really interpret it. So I bet people who haven't seen anything of Dragon Ball really do like it. It's like Dragon Ball Z back when Dragon Ball Z was for us. So yeah. I think that's true.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do, especially if you came in after Battle of Gods, then definitely you'd be hooked.
Oh yeah, I mean, like even this, heck, even the arc. I know a lot of people like to bag on that arc, but even the arc to me was something special, and it's something I feel like was a good adaptation. Maybe not the Fakatsu no F arc, Resurrection of Frieza, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I think the Battle of Gods arc of Dragon Ball Super was actually pretty good and a decent adaptation to the movie. Of course, if you'd seen the movie, you'd probably be hooked as well. But anyway, guys,
the movies were great. Yeah, it's hard to when the films just come out, it's hard to change it to an anime and have it at the same standard without the budget there. So it didn't seem a sensible choice. The films were so big, start after the films, and you just don't get the criticism. It would never have got the criticism it got. It would have started off on a high note.
I completely agree, man. But anyway, guys, I want everyone to go down to the description section below and hit that link. Please go subscribe to Mark, guys. The guy makes some really awesome content. I cannot stress this enough. Smaller YouTubers, especially in the Dragon Ball community, do take time to think about things that you probably haven't thought about, or you didn't want to, or you haven't really wanted to express or something. They're also very communicative or everything else like that. So please make sure to go check him out, support him, support the smaller community. Obviously, I really appreciate the thought and passion that comes into some of these people who come out there. So anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. I hope everyone has a good day. It's been real.